Welcome back to our module looking at raising kids in a ministry leadership environment. This is part 2. Last time we noted the first 4 tips of 10. Number 1, put God at the center of your home. Number 2, set a godly example to your kids. Number 3, encourage your kids to attend children's programs and youth activities. Number 4, prioritize family. Let's continue. Number 5, healthy communication. Often in parent-child relationships, the parent is quick to speak, but not as quick to listen. And listening is one of the measures of any healthy relationship. Even if you're a busy leader, take time to listen until you really hear what they're trying to say. Give undivided and undistracted attention. Respond to what has been said so that they know they have been heard. Learn to ask open questions that elicit thoughtful answers rather than closed questions which just bring grunts or the stock yes, no, or I don't know. Avoid asking questions like an interrogation. Instead, ask with interest. Whenever possible, eat meals together as a family and talk. Welcome their thoughts and discussion by inviting their opinions and perspectives. Attempt to make meal times fun and interesting. Invest one-on-one time with each of your children. Kids remember personalized attention. My younger son vividly remembers the hours we spent while he was learning to drive. In our state, learners have to have 120 hours of supervised driving before they can be tested for their license. So we decided to make the most of it. So we planned day trips and weekends away. It was a great time to have together. Number 6, express your love and affection with words and touch. Embrace, affirm and encourage your kids. Say, I love you often and meaningfully. My brother David went off to his end of year work celebration in December 1986. And as he walked out the door, my parents said, we love you. He never came home. He was tragically killed in a car accident that night. But my parents said, we love you. Number 7, learn how to be a good or better parent. There are many excellent resources, courses, books and seminars available that can help you to be a better parent. Observe other good and experienced parents. Speak with them, pepper them with questions, learn from their mistakes and implement their successes. Number 8, lovingly discipline your children. Ephesians 6 verse 4 instructs parents not to exasperate their children, but to instruct them in God's ways. This requires that we lovingly train them for their good. Training involves discipline, and discipline is helping a child to learn what is right and wrong in terms of their social behavior, speech, and attitudes. And often this means affirming what they do right, but reprimanding them for what they do wrong. Hebrews 12 verses 7 to 11 tells us that God, as our loving Father, disciplines us. And the Proverbs teach parents to discipline and correct their children. Now, in practical terms, affirm them as distinct from their action or behavior. Address the issues clearly. Don't avoid or deny the issues. The purpose of discipline is to help the child become self-disciplined, to know right from wrong for themselves, and to behave appropriately in any given life circumstance or cultural setting. However, in disciplining children, please remember that every child is different and will respond to different styles of discipline. Never compare your children to their siblings or to other leaders' kids. This often has a negative effect. Treat them individually. Number 9, be a guiding presence as they mature into adulthood. As much as we wish our kids could stay at an idealized age, they inexorably keep growing. And with each new stage of their development and maturity, from infancy through childhood and adolescence into adulthood, the nature and dynamic of your relationship with them will change. Recognize these biological and emotional changes. Adapt your relationship and communication style accordingly. Let them know that you are there for them and want to listen. And when you do listen, seek to understand and be patient and flexible with their moods. There will come a time when their friends will have a greater influence on them than you. Provide whatever direction, instruction or advice is needed, especially if they seek it. And sometimes they'll listen, sometimes they won't. Be available for them either way. And whenever their friends, even the weird ones, come, welcome them. Now at times, my kids have brought home some really very interesting people, but I would rather embrace their friends than have their friends draw them away. When your children do and probably will make decisions that disappoint you, remember that your relationship with your child is the most important thing. Even though your heart may be filled with sadness or pain because of their choices or actions, endeavor to retain and maintain relationship. Let them know that you love and accept them unconditionally, regardless of your disapproval of their actions. This doesn't mean that you condone their decisions or behavior, but it does mean you're treating them as God treats us when we fail Him. Through Jesus, He continues to love us unconditionally, and by His Spirit He seeks to turn us back to Himself. And if you treat your kids like this, they're more than likely to come back to you in the future. Remember the prodigal son who knew where to go when everything unraveled in his life. Just as importantly, his father was waiting, watching, and welcoming. Now, inevitably, they'll move out of home, but hopefully your parenting has meant that they feel welcome anytime. Fiona and I love it when our kids come home to visit. They tease us mercilessly and laugh at our idiosyncrasies, but we thoroughly enjoy having them home, even if it's fleeting. Number 10, deal with the residue of any past personal dysfunction. Even if your experience or model of family has been traumatic or dysfunctional, you do not have to repeat the mistakes your parents or maybe even you have made in the past. Forgive those who have hurt you or not shown you love. Tell those who are now close to you about the problems and conflicts that may have occurred. It may help them to understand you. Learn how to show love and affection to your dysfunctional family members. Ask forgiveness from those who have disappointed or hurt you. Get help for any anger or violence that may be damaging others. Whenever appropriate or possible, initiate reconciliation with any estranged family member. And aside from past trauma, if you're currently in a messy or flawed marriage or family, remember that you serve a God who can put the fragmented pieces of relationships together again. He is a God of love who can heal broken marriages or severed relationships. He can give you a capacity by His grace to forgive and move forward. By His Spirit, He can radically change your life so that you do not have to be a victim or captive to the past. You can start new and not repeat the mistakes that you or others have made. He is able to deliver you from the despair of any and every regret. And even though you may feel riddled and incapacitated by mistakes, by the teaching of His Word, the transforming work of the Holy Spirit, the love and support of your church community, and the example of solid families, you can get your life, marriage and family together. It's not too late. Choose a different tomorrow and a better future for your family. Change in your family starts with change in you. Well, that's it. This is the end of our session and the module. I hope you found it applicable to your life and helpful. And please remember, our marriage and family are our primary ministry. Let's work on them both. God bless.